Hi, my name is Chad Wachs from AU Wireless. We are a wireless internet service provider in Golden, Colorado, in the suburbs of Denver. We've been waiting very patiently to get our hands on some of the new Siklu Terragraph gear, and finally it has arrived. What I've got here is the MH366, this is the AP, and then the MH265 Terminal Unit, that is one of the two Terminal Unit client modules that are currently shipping. In addition, these come with PoE injectors. The AP does not come with a PoE injector, so we've got their 60-watt PoE injector that is also capable of doing 10 gigabit speeds over that copper connection. So let's open these things up and see what is inside the box. We will start with the N366. All right, starting with the N366. The first thing I noticed when the boxes arrived was these looked a lot smaller than what I was thinking in my mind. And looking at the size of this ends up being a smaller radio than what I had envisioned, which is a good thing because where these are getting placed on customer homes and buildings in downtown areas, aesthetics is going to matter. So we've opened up the top of the box, and in classic Siklu fashion, we have a little tray that comes out. Includes the quick setup guide that also tells us everything that exists inside the box. We have two hose clamps that look like they go from about a 2-inch to about a 4-inch pipe. This looks like the pole attachment that we'll see where that connects to the radio itself. But screws, everything comes with it, and I love the fact that these screws, because they are fairly small, are set so they don't fall out. Fantastic. Then we've got two of the waterproof cable glands, and these look like they are the standard Siklu size. So if you've got them left over from multi-haul or from ether haul radios, I believe these are all probably their standard size and you would be able to work. And then always with their gear is the grounding cable. All right, let's go in for the radio itself. We've got a layer of styrofoam. And then the radio itself. I'm going to move the box to the ground here. Fairly light. I would say this is under 10 pounds. Completely round. And it's got, looks like these panels are the 90-degree antennas. 4 90-degree antennas in here, and each one of these is labeled. So this panel here is labeled with a 1 underneath it. This guy is a 4, a 3, and a 2. Looking at the bottom side, there is an arrow that points directly at the center of the number 1 radio. So if you're underneath this looking up at it, you've got some orientation as to which direction to aim it. Let's see about the mounting bracket. It looks like it's going to slide. I see a couple screw holes here on the side that look like they're going to line up and accept this guy. And yep, that just slides right on there. And those are all lined up to accept these screws. So there, that's as simple as the mounting bracket is. And then we can still get our hose clamps through these. And I think there's even room, once this has been attached, I could sneak a hose clamp through that as well. So if we do that part first, we'll still be able to get them on. On the bottom, they've got their standard dust water caps for the 4 ports on these. And they are labeled ports 1, 2, 3, and 4. So port 1 is closest to the radio 1 antenna. And we'll start by pulling off these and seeing what is in each one of these ports. Port number 1 will be your PoE in, which I believe is also a 10 gig Ethernet port. We'll negotiate down, I think, 2.5 gig as well as standard 1 gig. Port 2, Ethernet port, which will provide PoE out on this particular unit. Port 3 is their 10 gig SFP Plus port. And port 4 is got the the recessed reset hole where you can do a factory reset on the unit, as well as a USB port. And then looking at their manual, it looks like that USB port is currently reserved for future use. So there is the unit. It is made out of both kind of plastic housing as well as metal everywhere else. When you look kind of closely, it looks almost like a kind of a square or rectangular shaped radio inside of this plastic housing, which then has the antennas on it. But it has the kind of the familiar Siklu build quality to it, where the radio component themselves are made out of metal. We've got easy access to the grounding screw. You've got your barcode and identifiers here on the bottom. And actually kind of a nice little carrying handle almost at the top, so that while you're mounting it, you've got something that you can hold on to while you're tightening your straps there to hold that to the pole. All right, here we've got the MHT265. This is their terminal unit. They are currently shipping 2 of these. I believe they're the same exact form factor. What changes on them are the ports that you've got on the bottom. This one is going to come with a PoE in, a PoE out copper port, as well as an SFP cage on it. The other model just has the PoE in port on it. So we'll open up the top, and again, there is that little tray. And the tray again has 2 of their cable gland kits in it. It has 2 hose clamps on it. It's always nice when the hose clamps get included. It has their quick setup guide that will explain everything that is in the box. These come with a PoE injector. So nice when equipment is shipped with a PoE injector. And this is a 55 volt output, and I'm looking for a 1 amp PoE injector. And does it do 10 gig? Let's see if it mentions that on there. Nope, it says gigabit. Okay. And then their standard grounding cable. Another layer of styrofoam. And then the radio itself, which comes with the mounting bracket, looks like pre-installed. About the same weight, it almost feels like, as the AP, so this feels like it's about a 10-pound radio. It's very similar form factor and size to their current multi-haul product. Has the nice carrying handle on the back that does make mounting a whole lot easier, and we'll see that mounting video later on. And then it's got its 4 connectors on the bottom. So again, starting 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 1 is their, looks like probably PoE in, and then it has a light next to it telling you if you've got voltage and a link. Port number 2 is a copper port for PoE out. Port 3 is that SFP cage. And port 4 has the reset button in it, as well as that USB that, again, according to their manual, says that is reserved for future use. They have a very similar looking radio to their multi-haul, if you're familiar with it. Good metal radio, plastic radome in the front, but every other part of this is metal, which should give it some good front to back isolation as well. So there is the terminal unit for the Terragraph. So we'll have a video coming up a little bit later on where we're going to be putting a couple of these things up on some customer roofs and installing the system, as well as configuring the system.